Hello, my name is Tilman Altenberg and welcome to Module 1 of our Green Industrial Policy course. To kick things off, this module will explain what industrial policy is about, as well as some of the challenges and opportunities that industrial policies can bring. Throughout history, every economy that has escaped poverty and reached middle or even high income status has gone through a structural transformation. This has been achieved by shifting labor and capital to new and more productive activities, especially from traditional agriculture to modern manufacturing. This has allowed for economies of scale and division of labor, thereby boosting efficiency and incomes. Structural transformation can happen without any government intervention. In practice, however, many countries are not advancing at all, or the transformation happens so slowly that large parts of the population remain in poverty. This can be for various reasons. For instance, people may not have access to information about what they might be able to produce and sell in a particular market. Providing information and linking producers to promising markets would accelerate this process. Or people may not have the necessary skills and capital needed to pursue more productive activities. Establishing a dedicated systems of skills training and providing access to capital can overcome these particular barriers. Alternatively, people may not dare to invest if the success of their investment depends on simultaneous investments by others. If only one of them falls, the whole pack of cards can fall. An independent agency providing coordination is therefore often essential. So in sum, so-called market failures call for government to facilitate structural transformation. This is what industrial policy is about. We define industrial policy as an attempt by a government to encourage resources to move into sectors that the government views as important to achieve desired objectives. Traditionally, these objectives were to enhance industrial growth, but increasingly social and environmental objectives are seen as equally important. Green industrial policies, therefore, aim at enhancing growth and competitiveness while also advancing environmental objectives. We will revisit these in Module 2. Yet to some people, industrial policies remain controversial, even when they accept that markets alone may not provide optimal societal outcomes. These people contend that government should not intervene. They believe that entrepreneurs and not politicians know where capital is best invested. While this might be true, it misinterprets the role of governments. Their task is not to predict market developments or to tell entrepreneurs where to invest. Instead, government's role is to facilitate investments in a coordinated way and to set incentives that direct structural transformation along a more desirable path. For example, by shifting private investments towards socially or environmentally preferable outcomes. Industrial policy of this sort does make a lot of sense. Still, there are risks involved. Governments may take wrong decisions, for example, by supporting new activities that never become competitive. To some extent, this is not so problematic. It is government's role to test new things. If some newly supported activities fail, while some others become a big success, then you can say the intervention altogether were worth undertaking. Modernization is a process of trial and error, both for the public and the private sector. Errors can be corrected if outcomes are monitored. The bigger risks involves political capture. Interest groups, for instance, may lobby the government to provide subsidies that are not justified, or politicians may privilege political supporters rather than society at large, or even enrich themselves. However, these things can and do happen in any field of policy making, from health to education to infrastructure planning, and it would be absurd to reject industrial policy altogether just because it can be badly managed. After several decades of policy experimentation, we now have a fairly good understanding of what the factors are that make industrial policy a success. The solution can only be to ensure that appropriate checks and balances are in place. Having separate government agencies take responsibility for the setting of objectives, for policy implementation, for impact evaluation, for example, is generally a good bet. We will return to the process of policy making in greater detail in Module 3. So, industrial policy are an important tool which carries some risks. How they are designed and implemented is therefore key. Success stories are easy to find. Indeed, almost every major competitive breakthrough can be traced back to successful industrial policy. In all corners of the world, including low and middle income countries, new productive activities have emerged in response to smart industrial policy, from Bangladesh's garment industry to China's shift to electric mobility. With that, I will leave you to your detailed studies and will see you again when you start Module 2. Good luck!